Hey everybody, and welcome to Tatter-a-fact here at the Girlz Inc. studio in Las Vegas, and got a great episode today. I'm super stoked, all the way from England or the UK, right? Yep, doesn't matter. We have Carrie Wellstead and Jess Abbott. Yes, otherwise known as the Scalp Sistas.
Indeed.
Right? You are two individual people.
Yeah, we are.
But
We are two separate people.
Yeah, but you formed the collaboration and the brand, the Scalp Sistas. Yeah, which I love. I love that.
Thank you.
So,
So do we.
Which is self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
You do scalp work.
Yes.
And you're over here in Vegas. So let's just give them you're over here in Vegas because you just did a class here.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
was
Brilliant.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really amazing having you
good.
here.
Thank you very much.
We've loved it.
Yeah, it was a great class, and the students loved it, the models loved it, and you're coming back. You're coming back next year.
Hell yeah.
We are indeed.
Yeah.
We're
I'm-
just trying to plan the
wait.
next date now, aren't we?
So,
Yeah.
but you're teaching classes in around the UK area, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, and this was your first class in America.
It was.
Yeah.
First one. So we do so we've both got so we live about 2.5 hours from each other. So we've got our own separate clinics, and then we do some at Jess's, we do some at mine, and then we've done some guest spots at other clinics in
Okay.
the UK as well.
Yeah, we've
which
travelled
is
around
cool.
the little parts of the UK, aren't we? I mean, the UK's tiny, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
take
2.5 hours is like really far to us. So you're probably like, oh,
Yeah.
that's up the road then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really far, isn't it?
I know, but that's what I love about the UK. I mean, when we go over there and teach, you know, you can jump on a plane and you can be in.
You can
I
get
mean,
everywhere.
Yeah, you could jump on a train. I mean, and be in Italy in a couple hours, or Paris in
Yeah.
a couple hours.
Well,
and-
the
you're
UK is
closer
so connected to Europe as well, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm actually down that part of the country as well, where you literally just hop on. I'm
I
closer
love
to France.
that about UK and Europe. Being UK, do you love that the European
e-
countries are that
yeah.
connected and close? And 'cause
It's
you-
easy, isn't it? for
Yeah,
travel
it's
and
easy
stuff,
travel.
and
It's
easy
We
travel.
are lucky.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because you guys are like, just you're the other side, aren't you? But then you travel
Yeah.
easy
Well,
around.
Yeah.
how much bigger is Nevada probably than the UK? And it's a state, isn't it? We could probably get
Yeah.
the UK in there a few times. So
Probably.
We're
Probably.
tiny, aren't we?
Well, I love the
Small but
UK.
mighty.
Yeah, I love the UK, London in particular, and maybe I'm half English, yes, and I'm half Irish.
Oh,
I've got Irish blood
Yes,
as well.
so my dad
Me
is
too.
We might be related.
Yeah, we might be related. My dad is a full-blooded Irishman, and the other side of my family is English. And so when we were just, you know how you can do all those blood things, DNA
Yeah, I've
things,
done one of
right?
those.
So your DNA history and trace back your family roots. Well, I did it, and my family goes back. I mean, what 100 or years to a neighborhood, a village in London.
oh, really?
Yeah, and I just found that
That's
out
why
like
you're drawn to it.
I just found that
It's in
out.
your blood.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow.
I got goosebumps because I
Yeah,
told
I bet.
Kat, I'm wondering if that's why I'm so drawn and feel such a connection to like London, England. Like and you know when-
Energy. That's energy.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Not everyone
So
loves
kinda
London,
crazy.
do they? So the fact that you do, people I think either love it or hate it. Like they find it either too much or it's everything to them. So, which is like you say, probably why you feel
was
connected.
drawn.
Yeah.
Even artists. Once the because when I first started in PMU, the world wasn't connected. The PMU industry wasn't connected. It was
No.
very segregated. Like in the U.S., the U.S. PMU industry, we only knew what we were doing in each other's cities. We didn't know what each other was
Yeah.
doing in other states unless we met at a convention. We certainly didn't even. We probably didn't even think PMU was being done in England or any other country because we weren't. There was no internet.
I think it was just very separated.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
back
so
then? 'Cause-
separated. Yeah,
And it was the same when we started. It was so separate.
So
so
separate.
separate. And I think
And it-
social media has obviously helped
yeah, and it
massively
wouldn't
with that.
surprise me if we thought us like
We were the only ones doing
we're-
it.
Like, yeah, we're the only ones doing it in the U.S. because we just didn't know. But once and it was Naomi Waite actually who started the very first Facebook group in PMU, and she's based in England, in northern England, Lancaster. Is that how I say it, or Lancashire?
There's Lancashire.
Yeah,
Lancashire. And that's, of course, when you realize it's like, of course they're doing it in other countries. But right away, I made relationships with people in UK and England, very drawn to artists over there, their personalities, and have a lot of friendships. But anyway, let's get to the more interesting stuff. So so you do scalp work. Would you say that is, first, let me ask you, is that all you do in PMU scalp work, or do you do brows, eyeliner, and lips?
We do. We do. We both do. We both do brows, liner, lips,
Do
nipples,
medical areola,
medical
freckles
tattooing,
even, which I think is a
freckles.
bit controversial, but I like little freckle tattoos.
Yeah, well, just about everything's controversial in
Isn't it
this
just?
industry,
This
isn't
whole
it?
industry. I was just about to say this.
Yeah.
This whole industry and
It's-
everyone in it.
You can, you can
is-
debate and
could.
every single topic
You could.
in here.
You could.
How to do it, whether to do it or not, whether
Yeah.
it
Is
should
it
be
right,
done,
is it
how to
wrong?
do it, what needle do you? Yeah, you can debate every single topic.
You could. And you could
Um,
almost contradict.
Yeah, yeah. Look, freckles are controversial. A lot of people don't think freckles should be done, but
I love them.
you
get
know
good
what?
results, so I'm happy.
I think if they're done responsibly,
Yep.
then I think it's a great procedure and can be done.
Yep.
So I think they should be done in a manner where they will fade out of the skin.
100%.
And
Exactly
right?
that. Yeah.
It will fade out.
that.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
do you use inorganic pigments when you're doing freckles?
Inorganic and then
more
dilute.
superficial.
100%.
dilute,
Yeah.
Nothing too dark, more of like a light mid brown because it's going to heal a little bit darker and cooler.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah.
you're not careful anyway.
Yeah.
And just easy on the pressure.
Right.
But
I mean, I had a
think
lady
most-
come in with horrendous freckles. They were like black.
Like
dots.
blackheads.
Well, we're removing.
did.
Like blackheads. It can look really, really good.
Yeah.
Or it can look really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
It can look really, really bad.
And the
But I
bad
think
ones
all,
do
I
look
think
bad.
all PMU and SMP, I think it should all be taken with care. It should
Yeah.
all look timeless.
Weird, because anything
That's
can
another.
look good or
That
bad.
leads on to
Yeah.
more
Well, I
things as
think
well.
that even if they're done, even if they're done with organics, even if they're done really, really well, brilliantly, and they look fantastic, there's a potential that they're going to end up looking really, really bad
Yep.
because there's a potential they will not leave the skin with an organic, especially if you're using the darker colors that have a large load of carbon in them.
Yeah.
So, so I think it's all, that's why we have to be strategic thinkers, critical thinkers, and really think about the type of pigment
Yeah.
that we're going to use
Yeah.
and for all the different procedures that we do. I think most things can be done very skillfully and
Being responsible, isn't
yeah,
it?
and you can predict aging, make sure it's going to age well
Yeah.
if you're really thinking.
I think you have to
thinking.
think about how it's going to look in 20 years' time, 5
Yeah,
years, 10
age
years, 15.
appropriate.
It's got to be like go back.
No, that's a
timeless.
good point, Jess. But do you think that most of the industry is thinking
No.
long term, or do you think a lot of the industry, I don't want to say most, a lot of the industry or artists are thinking about that Instagram,
I
what
think
it
they're-
looks on Instagram right
I
now?
think exactly that's
We
what, and I
touched
think
on
that
that,
is
didn't we?
I think that is a little bit of a problem actually.
It's a big
It is.
problem.
It isn't because that Instagrammable photo isn't. I don't want to speak out of term here about anything or anyone, but it's not real. Sometimes it's real.
Oh, no, you
But
can
it's-
say
it's not-
that.
it's not real, and I think it's important for new artists that are coming into this
Yeah.
industry because it's forever evolving. That they understand that it's okay to look at pictures like that, and it's okay to post pictures like that. But what isn't okay is for it to be said that that's how
Yeah.
it's got to
to
look.
market it as that
Yeah,
as
like actually, let's get some real work
right,
out there.
right.
This is how it's. This
like
is what's going to happen.
unfiltered, raw
Yes.
pictures
Yeah,
and
let's
video
bring
of
the
the work.
rawness
Saying,
back.
weren't
I'm
we?
quite passionate about that
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
We were saying
We-
about the pixels, about the pixels and stuff.
Can you hear her, Willow? I'm sorry, you can?
So we were saying about the pixels and stuff, and I think it's beautiful and it showcases a certain skill, a certain application, and a certain technique. I'll post photos that say nice little airy pixels, da 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 da,
Yeah.
but they still heal differently. They don't stay looking like those perfect little pixelated
No,
dots.
no.
It's a technique that I've
Right.
applied to do the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you work really hard. So we talk about this stuff a lot on the podcast, and I'm glad we do. But we talk about it in a manner just like you guys are presenting it now. There's a way to talk about these topics. We should be able to talk about these
Yeah.
things in an honest, raw, transparent conversation.
Yeah, without offending
Without
anyone.
offending
It's
anybody.
okay
Because
to
we-
disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
But we're
exactly
not
that.
angry
No.
about,
No.
you know.
No.
It's just let's just keep it real.
let's just keep
Yeah.
it
And
real.
yeah.
I think that's what creates community, and you know, and that's what makes for a really interesting conversation. Is when, you know, a lot of people that come on this podcast, you know, we have different philosophies,
Yeah,
and we use different needles. We think differently.
Yeah.
And what works for one person doesn't work for
100%.
another.
We do
Anyway, so
completely
nothing's
different.
set in, is it? It's
No.
what works for you and your client.
I always say,
Yeah.
you know, like 1 + 8 is 9, 2 + 7 is 9,
Yeah.
6 + 3 is 9.
Exactly that.
There's a lot of different avenues to a beautiful result,
Yeah.
right? And all that really matters is the beautiful result, and people forget the and that it ages just as beautifully
100%.
and leaves the skin in an appropriate time frame, right?
It's being ethical,
Agreed.
isn't it? And
Yeah.
I think, like, I've done work from when I first started, and then
Future-proofing.
when I started doing removals, I was like, right, go through my like list of contacts, thinking who can I message? Like, you know, your very first work that at the time you were so proud of, and we were looking at our really old work from when we first started a while ago, and we're like,
It's scary to look at your old work,
Yeah.
because
We
you
was
look at it and
having
you're
a
like,
giggle,
are you
weren't
kidding
we?
me?
Yeah.
It was, honestly, it was like...
and I'm
we
like,
was-
please let me remove them because I'm okay with that. I'm like, you know, I'm
it's
confident
growth.
enough.
It's
yeah,
growth in life. Everyone
Yeah.
grows.
but our old
We
ones-
all have work like that.
But we
all
didn't have
work like
training.
that.
We didn't have
Oh my
training
God.
like there is nowadays.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't there.
No.
Most of
no.
us were self-taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same when I was coming up, you know, with the training. There's a lot of not great training now, but there's more good and ready
there's
available
more-
training
and
as
information.
well, and information where there wasn't.
And the online
years and years
content
ago.
that's available now is
Yeah.
amazing, especially
Yeah.
more for, I think, master classes than beginners. But